I'm Renisha Gentle, and this is another episode of The Gentle Perspective. Please click the subscribe button below so that you can get reminders of when I post up a new video. Also leave a like, and of course feel free to comment. Now, before I go any further, I need to give a little bit of insight as to why I started this and why it's important for not only myself but for young people to initiate a dialogue and to start questioning certain things that are happening not only in our country but in our region. When it's all said and done, this not only will affect me, everybody will feel. This is not a singular issue. Each person who is a citizen of Belize or a member of our regional community will undoubtedly gain the brunt of whatever decisions and policies our leaders and politicians and our governments put into play. Now, it's no secret that women are scarce in electoral politics here in Belize. But there has actually been a handful of women that have stood the test of time and allowed us to realize that women are actually capable of handling and fully functioning within electoral office. But what is more important and very interesting to note is that this not just come about. This has forever been a topic of discussion within conferences and meetings and political manifestos, whereby there have been valiant efforts on both sides of the political realm to push women and to advocate for more women within electoral politics. Furthermore, to add to that is that both the PUP and the UDP actually have arms within their political parties dedicated towards addressing the issues of women and the role that they play in our society. Now, the contrast between the UDP and the PUP's women's group is quite interesting to note, because now you see a clear distinction as to the role the woman should play. On one spectrum, you have them being a governing body per se to the men of the political party to ensure that women's issues are addressed. On the other end, you have them actually offering themselves up for electoral politics. But we'll tuck that away for right now. Now, please believe me when I say that this has absolutely nothing to do with patriarchy, so the feminists out there can breathe a sigh of relief. Like every other high-level job, electoral politics, dirty bad. It is a dirty game. The rationale behind it all is that electoral politics is always a personal attack. They go after your character, and if they can't go after your character, they will go after your friends and family or anyone who you are associated with. So I can understand why most women would want to deter from that type of behavior and will not be ready and eager to jump in front of the line. We have seen time and time again where our own politician or veteran men politician just throws every single inhibition through the door and go for the jugular.
You are out of touch, Mr. Prime Minister. You are old, you are tired, it is time for you to go.
You talk about who old and tired and no want to go. But you have to talk to your papa. Then you have to talk to. If I am 68, he must be 76. And he announced that he still want to run again for George. That's the way old and tired and need for go.
Turn back around to get my painkillers. Wish that you had turned back around, sir, to get your simple pills. That's what you should have done.
That is a problem, my Mr. Speaker. This man is in so much drugs. The drugs to get the free head, Madam Speaker. All of the drugs that he has to take for his pain start to affect the head, Madam Speaker. That is a problem. That is why he behaves uncouth in this house, Madam Speaker.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, are our Belizean parliamentarians. And this actually incites a further dialogue after looking at what just happened in Jamaica's general election. Of the 18 women that ran for the Jamaica Labour Party, guess how much won? 14. 14 of 18 women. This actually takes you to a win rate of 77.8%. Moreover, this means that 28% of the Jamaica Labour Party within Parliament are women. This in itself is a landmark event in the history of Jamaica. Now, many of you may be asking, if there's a shortage of women in electoral politics, why not just let the political parties put more? Well, at first glance, this may seem like a viable solution. However, in political science, this is what we call good old social engineering, and I'm going to touch on that right now. First, I want to talk about a study back in 2012, which was published by UNDP Belize in collaboration with the National Women's Commission of Belize. Now, this study spoke about women, their role in electoral politics, and the use of quotas. Now, quota is either done by legally implementing a procedure whereby political parties have to have X amount of space available for women, or the political parties can voluntarily always ensure that they carve out that niche for a specific number of women. The study also went on to say that more than half of the world's countries who use one out of the two of those quota types ended up getting their 30% of women in parliament goal. But this little technique is only viable for countries that have proportional representation system. Here in Belize, we have first past the post. Unlike the PR system, whereby several candidates of one political party can be on the ballot, here in Belize, we only have one person representing one constituency for each party. You following me? Case in point, the use of quotas in relation to a proportional representation system equates to social engineering. This is because if you have a ballot whereby you have more women on it than men, this is you being preempted and influenced to more than likely voting a woman as opposed to a man. Make I tell you something. I will tell you this. The use of quota ultimately lessens the value of your vote, because you now have a man who may be more qualified and prepared not being given just as much opportunity as a woman. So now you have discrimination and bias in reverse, because now you have a bias against women because you need to reach X amount of percentage within parliament, and a man being discriminated because, well, he's a man and the woman need to take precedence. Quite frankly, I don't feel like quotas are rational. A leader should not be pre-selected and then presented to the electorate. This is undermining democracy, in my opinion. Moreover, a leader should be male or female, and the sex should not make him or her more or less important or valid within an election. There is a common misconception that more women in the political arena will lend way to less of our social ailments, that a utopia will flourish within the benevolent womb of a matriarchal political society. At no point will I be of the belief or reasoning that more women will alleviate lack of education, poverty, or the common single mother out there with 4 or 5 picnic struggling to make ends meet. We've seen time and time again when women play just as dirty as the man, they have been equally complicit in dubious activities while in office. Now, I can give you one instance of this that would put a lot of things to rest. Remember back in 2008 when Zenaida Moya was the mayor of Belize City under the United Democratic Party, and she was dragged to court under a slew of charges. You know, the regular financial irregularities, nepotism, and such. This is after a mere $250,000 became unaccounted for. So, where does this all leave us? In quite the predicament, to say the least. Through all of this, though, we've seen one recurring theme that can be brought about. We need to empower our women. But how exactly do we do this? By remaining true and fair to our democratic system? Is there a singular answer? Or is it a sundry of possible formulas in an effort to gain a solution? Moreover, can we do it on our own, or do we need some form of external intervention? But what I will say is that this issue goes far beyond political parties having a woman's arm, which is merely a formality and a form of solidarity towards us. But that's just the gentle perspective. Kindly click the subscribe link below in order to get notified when there is a new episode of the GP, and also like and feel free to comment.